The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Bola Nyesom Wike, in his latest media chat that has been trending, he claimed that if Bola Ahmed Tinubu had told him in advance of the imposition of state of emergency in Rivers State, that he would not have supported it. And many people don't understand what he meant by that. My interpretation of it is that he wants to make Nigerians to believe that Bola Ahmed Tinubu imposing the state of emergency thwarted their plan to impeach Governor Sim Fubara from office. That was the point he was making. And you can see in the course of that interview, he was talking about that the president's imposition of state of emergency saved Fubara. And he said that, didn't you see Fubara? He said it the other day. You know, I told you that Fubara was suffering from Stockholm syndrome. For him to be regurgitating some of the things that those who held him hostage, the excuse they use, because it's only when you have Stockholm syndrome that you begin to praise your oppressors, those who are mistreating you. Okay, so he said Fubara said it the other day that Tinubu saved him. But that is not entirely the true story. The imposition of state of emergency, as far as I can see it, there is no way Tinubu will do that without letting Nyesom Wike be aware of it. Both of them, I believe, coordinated it. There is no way, I don't think it is true. Knowing how important Rivers State is to Tinubu and to Nyesom Wike, I do not believe that the president will not tell Wike, who he meets every week during the Federal Executive Council meeting, that this is what I will do. If the whole idea was not even instigated by Nyesom Wike himself as a last push to deal with the Fubara problem, if you like. So his claim that he would not have advised the president to impose state of emergency is to give credence to his claim that the state of emergency saved Fubara from impeachment, which is now one of the things that Fubara himself is regurgitating, that Tinubu saved him, and that we should all thank Tinubu for saving democracy. Can you imagine? An action that Nigerian Bar Association, the largest legal body in Nigeria, say was an illegality. And the victim is saying that we should thank his oppressor for saving democracy. When NBA and other most reasonable Nigerians are saying that that act of imposition of state of emergency and removal of elected officials was an aberration, an undemocratic action that ought not be allowed in a democracy. But that's by the way. Now, is it true that state of emergency stopped Fubara from being impeached? It is not true. It is not true that the state of emergency stopped Fubara from being impeached. That is not true. Remember that Sim Fubara, after the Supreme Court judgment that recognized the Martins Amehule-led State House of Assembly, that they did not defect from PDP to APC. and recognize them as the authentic lawmakers of River State. The Supreme Court judgment also quashed the local government election that was held in October 5th, 2024, conducted by Fubara in obedience to the Supreme Court directive based on the judgment that was asked for by the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, that no money will be released to any state that does not have duly elected local government chairman. Fubara conducted the election, but the Supreme Court again said that that election was a nullity. What did Fubara did? He cancelled that election and was preparing the River State Independent Electoral Commission to conduct fresh election. Those were the things they don't want him to do. They didn't want Fubara to conduct that local government election. They were scared that, okay, we have destroyed the structure that Fubara wanted to put up using the Supreme Court. All the local government chairmen that emerged from October election, Supreme Court has helped us to destroy them. Now he wants to conduct another election. They have to stop him. If you look at, once the Supreme Court ruling came out, what was the first thing that pro-Nyesom Wike lawmakers did? The first thing they did was to rush to summon the River State Independent Electoral Commission chairman and put him under investigation to halt that process. The Supreme Court said, okay, represent the budget. Fubara was chasing them up and down. Let me present the budget. They were dodging Fubara. Okay? What was all this? They were planning to impeach Nyesom Wike, Fubara. They were planning to impeach Fubara. But they made a brick wall in the state, the chief judge of River State, the chief justice of River State, the state chief justice, the chief justice of River State, Simeon Amade, was not on the side of Nyesom Wike and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That was the fact. And you cannot impeach Fubara because already with the Supreme Court recognizing the Martin Amehule-led State House of Assembly, they have two-thirds majority that they can easily impeach the governor. And that was why they sent a letter of notice of impeachment, which they circulated widely in the newspapers. Serving to impeach the governor and his deputy. That's Professor Ngozi Odu. But you know that before you can impeach, that notice, you must submit it to the River State Chief Judge, the Chief Justice of the state, so that he can be able to constitute a panel that will look at the allegation, the notice you have served the governor. But what did we see? Before they served the notice, they had attempted to remove the state chief judge, Simeon Amade. They wrote to the DSS, Department of State Services, to investigate Simeon Amade, that Simeon Amade falsified his age, therefore should be removed. But they were reminded by the NBA, Nigerian Bar Association and others, that if you have a case against Simeon Amade, that is not the business of the DSS. You have to take the matter to the National Judicial Council. They are the ones that will determine whether he falsified his age. And if they found out that he did, they can mete out disciplinary action against him. Now, because they cannot impeach without the backing of the State Chief Judge, Simeon Amade. They cannot. What did they do? They now use the state of emergency. That was the best they could do. The only thing that would convince me was that if they were able to get Simeon Amade on their side before Tinubu declared state of emergency, then I would have said that Tinubu saved Fubara from being impeached. He didn't save him from being impeached. If there is anyone who saved Fubara from being impeached, it is Simeon Amade, the chief judge or the chief justice of the state. Because under the law, before you impeach, the allegation against or the impeachment notice will be served. He will get a copy. He will get a copy of that notice, and then he will constitute a panel. It is that panel that will investigate the allegation made by the State House of Assembly that Fubara has committed impeachable offense or offenses. If that panel concludes that that is what had happened, then the State of Assembly will now be at liberty to impeach the governor. But you cannot impeach until the State Chief Judge was able to agree to that. So it is not true that Nyesom Wike, if he had been told about the imposition of the state of emergency, he would not agree to it. Obviously saying that state of emergency even stopped us from impeaching Fubara. No, it was the chief judge that stopped you people, and time was ticking, and you wanted to take action before Fubara can go ahead to conduct fresh election and set up fresh structure. Now that the sole administrator is there, don't you see that the whole arrangement is being populated by Nyesom Wike people, and people are complaining about that, because at the end of the day, all the whole effort was to stop Fubara from installing new structures that he wanted to do following the conduct of that local government election in October. That's my take. I don't know what you think about Nyesom Wike's claim that if the president had told him that he wanted to impose state of emergency, he would not agree. In other words, insinuating that the state of emergency stopped Fubara from being impeached, because they would have loved to impeach him. But I say here that you can't impeach without the chief judge of River State, Simon Amade, on your side. And Simon Amade was not on their side. That was why they petitioned DSS. They petitioned DSS to investigate Simon Amade of age falsification, a matter in which even NBA intervened, saying no, that is not the right process. If you want to accuse him of age falsification, you have to go to the NJC, National Judicial Council, to go and make that proposition and see whether it will work or not. I don't know what you think about Nyesom Wike's claim and what I have just given to you, the real reason why Fubara was not impeached. And this is to show you that it wasn't, Tinubu didn't save Fubara by the state of emergency. The state of emergency saved Nyesom Wike and helped to restore the structure he wanted to have in place for himself and for Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.